Hi there. Thank you for your interest in the Waterdown Trunk Watermain Twinning Schedule B Class EA and Conceptual Design Project. My name is Chris Hamill, and I'm part of the consultant project team at GM Blueplan. GM Blueplan is working closely with the City of Hamilton to identify the preferred alternative to service the community of Waterdown while minimizing impacts to the study area. We have recorded this presentation to support our public consultation engagement as part of the Waterdown Class EA. In the past, we would have normally held a public meeting in a central location to meet in person and discuss this study. In an effort to minimize public gatherings, we are holding this PIC virtually to ensure the greatest reach to public and stakeholders. We're hoping you can learn more about the study's objectives and start to understand how growth can impact these systems. We want to outline the Class EA process, outline the overall schedule, and show you the steps and decision-making process involved in completing this type of study. We also want to make sure you have an opportunity to get involved. We'll provide an opportunity to provide comments or ask questions, and ultimately, we will get back to you. The City initially commenced the Waterdown Class EA in 2019. PIC number 1 was held in October 2019 to present the problem opportunity statement and the existing conditions of the study area. Through public and stakeholder consultation, additional study area constraints and challenges were identified, such as natural environment features and cultural heritage resources. There were also great comments, concerns, and ideas raised. The City listened, and this led to the City to expand the project scope to include additional technical studies to support the selection of the preferred alignment. This study follows the Municipal Class Environmental Assessment process. Schedule B projects must complete Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Class EA process. The focus of Phase 1, the current stage of the project, is development of a problem opportunity statement that identifies opportunities and challenges that will be addressed through the Class EA process. Phase 2 addresses important technical questions that will guide the development and assessment of the alternative routes. The community of Waterdown is serviced by the City's lake-based municipal water system, which includes supply from the Woodward Avenue Water Treatment Plant. Potable water is fed through downtown, West Hamilton, Dundas, and ultimately to Waterdown via a 600-millimeter trunk water main along York Road to the York Road and Valley Road pumping station. From there, the station pumps the water uphill using one single 600-millimeter trunk water main along Valley Road and Highway 5, where it continues into the community of Waterdown. The problem and opportunity statement provides the key objectives of the study. For this study, the problem and opportunity statement is to identify a solution to meet current and future water supply needs in the community of Waterdown that improves system redundancy and security while minimizing potential impacts to the natural, social, cultural, and technical environments. Key technical studies were completed to better understand the existing conditions of the study area and develop an inventory of key archaeological, cultural heritage, and natural environmental features. A Stage 1 archaeological assessment was completed to determine whether there is potential for archaeological sites within the study area and along the alternative routes. Typically, areas that have steep terrain, or have been previously disturbed, or have been previously assessed, are exempt from further archaeological assessment. Other areas such as undisturbed lands and areas outside road right-of-ways may retain archaeological potential. A Stage 2 archaeological assessment will be required for any works proposed in the green area indicated on the map. A cultural heritage screening was completed to identify cultural heritage resources and properties within the study area. Areas identified in green, orange, and teal on the map indicate cultural heritage resources. The study will aim to minimize any impacts to cultural heritage resources. However, if works are proposed near a cultural heritage resource or property, an impact assessment will be undertaken to understand the potential impacts and associated mitigation measures. A desktop natural features inventory was completed to identify the natural environment features and planning policy areas within the study area. We understand the importance of the study area's natural features to the stakeholders and residents, and therefore we will aim to select a preferred alternative that will minimize impacts to natural features. Based on the existing conditions of the study area, we have developed a long list of route alternatives to meet the goals of the study to provide redundancy and security to the community of Waterdown. We have identified 6 main route alternatives. Each route begins at the water pumping station of Valley Road and York Road and ends on Dundas Street near Corslab Drive, where it will connect to the existing water system that leads to Waterdown. As you can see, each route has its own unique opportunities, challenges, or concerns. These will need to be considered as we work through the evaluation process. When evaluating the routes, it is important to consider how the pipe will be installed. There are 2 main construction methodologies that will be considered. The first is trenchless construction or tunneling. This involves establishing entry and exit shafts and constructing an underground tunnel slightly larger than the proposed new water main. The water main is then installed within the tunnel, and the surface is only affected at the shaft locations. The second methodology is open cut construction. This involves the process of digging a trench to install the infrastructure. Because construction occurs on the surface over a stretch of time, open cut construction has the potential to increase local disruption. Through the Class EA evaluation process, we will look at both options. However, where possible, tunneling will be the preferred construction method to reduce overall impacts to the study area. Each of the route alternatives will undergo a detailed evaluation to identify challenges, constraints, and potential impacts to the study area. There are 5 key evaluation criteria. Environmental. Routes will be assessed to determine their impact on the natural environment for both the short-term period, which would occur during construction, and long-term period, which would be once the infrastructure is in place and functional. Social and cultural impacts will be considered, including archaeological potential and impacts to cultural resources, traffic, and public spaces. Routes will be reviewed to determine jurisdictional requirements, including property, permits, and approvals, and agency coordination. Technical. Alternative routes will be reviewed from a technical standpoint to determine its feasibility, constructability, and ability to meet the servicing goals. And finally, financial. Estimated costs will be reviewed and will consider both city costs to construct and maintain the proposed infrastructure, as well as financial impacts to local businesses during and after construction. We are highlighting the criteria at this time for your information and awareness of what will be considered as we evaluate the routes moving forward. Our project team understands the importance of consultation and engagement with stakeholders and the public. We encourage you to provide any comments or feedback on the information presented by April 25th of this year. If you have any questions or comments at any time during the study, please contact the city's project manager, Winston Wang, or visit the study's Engage Hamilton webpage. Please note, there's also an ongoing Class EA for the York and Valley Road booster pumping station capacity upgrades. This is a separate study and has its own information on the link shown. So to learn more, please visit the webpage on your screen. We would like to thank you for your time, and we look forward to your feedback on this exciting study.